All right, we're on lesson 2 today, folks. And if you were paying attention when we did this homework problem a second ago, then you're like set up for success here. Because we really only have one tiny thing we got to add on to it, okay? The big thing that we got to learn how to do is how to use our calculators with this. So up at the top of your page, up above where it says trigonometry notes, I need you to write something down for me, please. Please write down sine parentheses 30 and parentheses equals. This is really important, okay? Please don't miss this. There are 2 ways that we can do angles, okay? There's actually more than 2, but there's 2 common ways you can do angles in a calculator. Degrees, which you guys are all used to. And there's also this thing called radians. You'll learn about those in Algebra 2. We're not getting into radians too much this year, maybe at the end of the semester. We want to be in degree mode, all right? There's a setting in your calculator that determines whether, when you put this in your calculator, whether you're telling it 30 degrees or 30 radians. We want to be doing degrees. So here's how you're going to test. I need you to type sine 30 into your calculator. You should come up with the answer 0.5 or 1/2. If you do not, that means your calculator is in the wrong mode. You're going to get wrong answers for every single problem that you do, okay? And you want to start every time you pick up your calculator to do a trig problem or work on your homework. You should start by doing the sine of 30 to make sure you're getting 0.5, because it's really easy to accidentally change the mode in your calculator. So in my calculator, I'm going to type the sine button here, 30, and my parentheses, hit enter. I'm seeing 0.5. That makes me happy. I know I'm in the right mode. Can everybody please type sine 30 in your calculator and make sure you get 0.5? You all good? Yes. So there's a little bit of so yours is going to look a little bit different than mine. I'll get with you and we'll go over how to use yours. Okay. All right. Okay, folks, I need you to understand something right now. This is important. Hey, I'm going to just do a general warning right now and a specific one too. Phones away for the rest of the period. Okay, in your pocket or in your bag. No excuses, no buts. If you got an emergency, you got to use your phone. You talk to me and you get on the office. Okay? No phone. All right. I need you to understand something right now, folks. A lot of times when my students first start in with trig, they think that this means sine times 30. They think there's multiplication going on in here. Can you see why people would think that? We're used to, like, when 2 things are next to each other in math, and one's a number and one's not, we often think of multiplication. But that's not what's going on here. This 30 is stuck actually inside of the sign. A sign is kind of like, it's like a box. And you put something in one end and something else shoots out the other end. It's kind of like a machine in a factory, okay? 30 is what we're going to put in, and the 0.5 is what's coming out of it. So what I need you to know is that these two things cannot be separated. You can't divide by 30 on both sides to get rid of the 30 here, because it's not multiplying, okay? All right. So here we go. Folks, you're going to do awesome with this because you did great a second ago. I've got the steps up above, but I'm going to talk you through this first one. So are you guys all looking at example number 1? Once my thing focuses here. Could you go ahead and mark off that angle 35 degrees for me, please? And I bet you know what I'm going to ask you to do next. Mark the side. Start with your hypotenuse and then label your opposite and adjacent, please. We should be getting pretty good at this point. Did you end up putting the adjacent at 14 and the opposite at X? Yeah? All right, questions so far? Okay, let's write our cheat code up here so we've got easy access to it. So, TOA. Because the next thing I need you to do is choose which style of equation are we going to do? A sine, a cosine, or a tangent? We just learned this in the homework. So we noticed that we've got information about adjacent and opposites. And the only place we see both adjacent and opposite are tangent. And I would love for you right now to write me a tangent equation that has 35 and 14 and X in it. And just make sure you double check with that 14 and X, you don't flip them around. Opposite of adjacent. How did I do? Yes? Now, this is true. And I told my pre-calc students the same thing last period. When I write equations like this, about 5 to 10% of the time, I end up flipping my fraction. I do it pretty frequently. And I have done probably thousands, if not tens of thousands of these problems in my career. Okay, but I still, about 5 to 10% of the time, I will flip my fraction. Okay, that's kind of bad, right? I'm a math teacher. I shouldn't be making that mistake. But here's how I counteract it. 100% of the time when I do one of these problems, I double check to make sure that I didn't flip my fraction, and then I will catch it if I do make that mistake. I do make the mistake. I'm trying to tell you this because that's the mistake that you're gonna make, okay? Double check, especially on a test. Double check and make sure. Did I put the X in the right place? Opposite over adjacent, opposite over adjacent, opposite over adjacent. Yes, I triple checked it, I'm good. Okay, but that's where the mistake's gonna happen. Once you get this written, folks, we're on easy street. You're gonna love this. Okay, pay attention. This is brand new. We haven't done this yet. We're gonna solve this equation. And I'm gonna solve it by turning this side into a fraction. Put it over 1. And you know how to solve equations that look like this. This is a proportion, and we solve it by doing what? Cross multiply. So we go 1 times X, which is just X, equals, and then 14 times tangent 35. When we have a number multiplied by a sine or a cosine or a tangent, we usually put the number in front that's multiplying. Kind of like we do with a letter, right? We have a coefficient on an X. We usually write it as 2X, not X. So 14 times this is 14 tangent 35. Okay. So far, so good. There's one more step, and it is a doozy. You ready for this? Grab your calculator, take that in, and hit enter, and then you're done. 14 tan 35. Round it off to 1 decimal place, and we got an answer. X is about 9.8. That's it. Let me show you how to do this. Gotta do it backwards. You figure it out. So do the angle first. Yeah, 35. And then top. And then yep. And that. You got the wrong.
Yeah.
All right. Question. How many digits? So sine, cosine, and tangent, most of them are irrational, which means they can't be written as a fraction, which means they actually have an infinite number of decimal places. Your calculator saves, I think, 16. Most graphing calculators will save 16 digits. It'll only show you like 8, but it will actually save 16. And that's a good point. Thank you for bringing that up. That reminds me to tell you guys something really important in a second. Okay, are we good? All right. Now, the next one's a little bit different, so stick with me, even if you're thinking like, I got this. But if you can do this one and the next one, then you're golden. You got everything for today. Okay, this is, by the way, this is real deal trig. You guys just solved your first trig problem. Congratulations. Usually when my students hear that we're doing trigonometry, they're like, ooh, that sounds scary and hard, right? But it's not too bad, right? Right, okay. Well, so far we're doing step by step. If you just follow my steps and you're in good shape. Okay, folks, can you guys go ahead and start on the second one? Mark off your angle. And then do the next step. The same thing that we always do about this time. Label your sides. Make your big decision. Are we going to write a sine or a cosine or a tangent? I'm seeing adjacent and hypotenuse. You guys seeing adjacent and hypotenuse also? Yeah. Which one has adjacent and hypotenuse? Cosine. All right, now we just got to get all the pieces in the right place here. And once you got it all there, please double check. Don't trust me because I haven't double checked mine yet. And I already told you I make mistakes about 10% of the time. This could be that one. Okay, I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah, the same idea.
Good. Okay. All right, folks. So here we go. This one's a little bit different. What do you notice is different about these two equations? That's where x is the big difference. Yeah, one's tangent, one's cosine, but the thing that's going to make this a little bit different when we go to solve it is the fact that x is in the bottom. It doesn't make it harder. There's going to be one more step. It's not a difficult step, though. You guys got this. Okay, so we're going to cross multiply just like we did. Let's go ahead and turn this into a fraction. And let's cross multiply. Now this time, notice x is going to get multiplied by the cosine. And x is a number, so it's going to go in front of the cosine. And then we got 1 times 9.6. I don't need a calculator for that. Now, we're not done yet. In our last problem, we would have been done. But in this one, we're not done yet. We got one more step to do. Anybody want to guess how we're going to get rid of this cosine 67? We got a suggestion for division. That's a great guess. Any other guesses? Multiply, good guess. Anybody, any other guesses? You want to go add or subtract? What do you think? Subtract, good guess. Any other guesses? Good. Anybody want to go square roots, squares? No? All right. Thank you guys for participating. Let me give you a hint. X is multiplying by the cosine of 67. So what's the opposite of multiplying by something? You were right the first time. We're going to divide on both sides by the thing we're trying to get rid of. I'm going to divide by the cosine of 67. I'm just going to look a little bit messy, but that's all right. You're going to get used to it. Cosine 67 is just a number. I don't know what it is, but my calculator does. But because it's a number, same thing as any other two numbers, when you divide by it, it cancels, it goes away. So now we got X all by itself. And then this right here, this big old messy fraction, we don't have to deal with because the calculator is going to do it for us. You're going to type in 9.6 divided by cosine 67, hit enter, and you'll be done. 9.6 divided by, and yours is going to be different. Cosine 67. This will be the one that it's going to kind of seem like a pain at first, but once you've done it a couple of times, it's rounding off to one decimal place, I am getting 24.6. Is that what you guys are seeing on your screen?
Yeah,
24.6.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So there anyway. It's up. Who's coming up? Come on. Yes. Did you guys do the bottom yet? Hey, folks, I challenge you right now to go ahead and try to two at the bottom. And if you got those, go ahead and flip it over on the back. And I want you to try and get at least 4 of the ones on the back done before you leave today, okay? I'm going to work quietly through the 2 at the bottom of the page. I'm not going to talk my way through it, but I'll kind of work slowly. If you feel like you need to see another example, go ahead and watch and follow along with me. If you feel like you got it, do it on your own, and then just look up here if you need a quick hint for what to do next, okay? At least 4. If we can get them all done, that'd be awesome.
Oh,
At least 4 of them before you leave. No, homework's. If you're done, go to the bottom. If you the answer right in. And if not, let me know. Yeah. So you're kind of you're fine. Um, you're you don't have to show me. Like what you come there is So be careful. Did I get a- Did everybody get a chance to check your number 3 and 4 from the front? Folks, I'm gonna go ahead and put answers up for the backside. This is not the homework, but this is the side I want you to have at least 4 problems done on before you leave today, please. Well, no. You can check your answers up here for the problems on the back. Yes. No, first thing so, it sounds like you're doing the right thing. Um, Questions? Yes. Yeah. Yeah. You can start off. Yeah. You got at least 4 of these done and you checked your answers. Don't you? Yeah. Okay. Thanks for informing. That's what I want. Shower, it's not that big. Sometimes people get a block in their head, like, I hear a word and parody is like. Sometimes. Whatever next to or whatever. Yes, that's what we did today. Do you want my notes? You have to. I'm coming. I'm sorry. I'm gonna leave you hanging. Just screwed up, guys. Guys, wait a second. That's not 77. Was that 77? Oh, guys, I got bad news for you. I'm gonna have to cut one of your microphones off. Yeah, well, that's the good news. Bad news is I'm gonna move it to lesson 3. Can you find number 77 on lesson 2? And move that down to lesson 3 for me, please. You know, the smart thing to do would then be to go to lesson 3 and those tonight, so I'll leave it up on you. It's not what I would have done when I was a teenager, but it's smart. All right. Sorry about that. We don't have to.
Finding out that the stuff we know is being put in. All right. Now, those ones are frustrating. Awesome. So you got it. Yeah, I'll be right there.
Yeah. Mhm. That doesn't- uh, That's important. Just like I said, we're gonna do this on Monday. What is Monday's date? Anybody know what the date is on Monday? The sixth. Can you guys put that date on for lesson 2, 2, 6? And we're gonna take number 77 and just push it down to lesson 3, right? I'm sorry to give you such a short homework assignment over the weekend. And something else to do with yourself. Oh, maybe not.
Oh, I am so worried about homework. I'm so interested on only getting homework done in class. Go home for trig. I'm probably part of this.
If you're all right.
You're still not for 85 now.
No. Well, I need you to keep something in mind, okay? That was a 6-page exam. And I have 140 students left. That's tough. I was sick over the weekend and I couldn't. You don't want me grading your test because I'm grumpy, right? You don't want a grumpy teacher grading your test. Not good. Thanks guys for putting those chairs up. Folks, you're doing awesome with this trick stuff. I am super impressed. I really appreciate your attention, your hard work. When we come back on Monday, I'm going to teach you how to solve for angles. And you'll be good.
Solving for angles and. Yeah.
No, if you can do it, then you're like 50% here. The only thing tennis ball. Have you- But I'll give you some problems when you have to find multiple things, but it's basically what we've just been doing. Like if I tell you this is 38 and this is 5, can you find X and Y and Z for me? Pretty easy. Yeah. So it's basically like what we just did, except you gotta do like 2 equations. Right? Hey, thanks for guys. Thank you. Hey, thanks for having that homework. All right, let's keep this one rolling, man. Let's start.